Welcome, students, to another edition of Java Programming. Today we're going to be learning about if statements. So first thing we're going to do is start a new REPL, new program. Just search Java right here, open up Java, and I'm just going to call this if statement video 1. Okay, once we have this, we can slide this over. I don't need that anymore.
Talking to yourself, bud?
Making a video. Then we're going to, you can go ahead and delete this. You don't need this anymore. So before we do an if statement, we wanted to set up a couple of variables. You can just do some integer variables. Uh, 13. Okay. If statements, they basically work the same way as in Python. So you can do if, you have to put those parentheses, if number 1 is less than number 2, then here you do an opening bracket. Remember those brackets. You always have to have an equal number of them. Once you have that second one established, you just want to scoot it down a little bit so you have plenty of room. And then good practice is to then scoot it in enough so that it's tabbed in so you can tell where this code belongs to. You can then do system.out println. Yay. You can put whatever you want. Don't forget that semicolon at the end. Let's run it. Yay. Okay. Works the same exact way as in Python. You have an if, type in if, then you have a test. You can do greater than equal to, less than equal to, whatever you want to do. You put that test inside parentheses. That is a change from Python. And then you open up a bracket, and then whatever's inside these two brackets, it's going to do. So inside the brackets, you can do several different things. You can have it print off several things, like I cannot wait for endgame. Yeah, it's coming out soon. You can set up new variables. So if you want to set up a string variable in here, string name, and then set it equal to Mr. S, Mr. Swallow, or you can put your name. Do not forget those semicolons. Then you could print out that variable, system.out.println. Name plus is super cool. Let's run it. Oh, forgot the semicolon. Semicolon, run it. I cannot wait for endgame. Mr. S is super cool. Don't forget those spaces like I just did. Okay, that it actually saves that as a space. But then if you go outside of this, kind of the interesting thing is, kind of the cool thing is if you go outside of the brackets of this if statement, so we're kind of leaving the if statement behind, we go down here and we do system.out.println, then you can call upon that name variable, but the interesting thing is, what's going to happen? System error, oh, dang it. System.println name, symbol, variable name, location, class name, cannot find symbol. What do you mean you can't find the symbol? It's right there, okay? As soon as you leave that if statement, that variable no longer exists, okay? But if we had set it up outside of the if statement, then we run it, then it can print it out, okay? So you normally don't want to set up variables inside the if statement. You want to set them out outside of it. Okay, let's just set up another if statement just for good practice. So if, and you want to put parentheses. Inside these parentheses, we're going to put our test. Let's test a string this time. Let's test to see if name is equal to, in testing string, we want to do 2 equal signs. And then you can put Mr. S. And then we put our opening brackets, scoot that other bracket down. If that is true, you can then do system.out.println. And and then do yay. See if it's gonna work. Gotta get back in the habit. There we go, and yay is printed out, okay? So if statements aren't too bad. If you're doing numbers, just do less than equal to or greater than or equal to with strings. You do 2 equal signs. This test to see if that variable name is truly equal to Mr. S.